I'll remove your roof, nigga, let the sun shine in. 38 waist enough to let 1 9 in. Really a 36 without the gun, I'm thin. But when the gat is tucked, I'm fat as fuck. Yo! Listen, man. I used to read on forums when people would shit on Volume 3. Again, I've had a video about this. You can look it up about Jay-Z. But come on, man. Jay-Z Volume 2, Volume 3. That was Jay. That was when Jay took over, in my opinion. Like I said, I was there. I witnessed that shit. When Jay came on that fucking Volume 2, Volume 3 flow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was building up to it. It's not like the stuff before that wasn't ill, but that's when it was just like, holy fuck. Why do I mention this? I want to talk about Pierre Bourne actually today. And in a roundabout way, I'm going to get to him because I want to talk about Timbaland first, okay? Come and Get Me by Timbaland and Jay-Z. You should know that song. That's a hip-hop fucking classic. Timbaland is, to me, the progenitor of this entire rap game today. You know, Timbaland 3-6 Mafia. That double-timey type of thing obviously is the sound of today, right? And Timbaland, I would argue, in a way, is even... I'd give a little bit more props to if I could do something like that, because Timbaland was doing it in the mainstream before 3-6 Mafia, right? Like 3-6 Mafia, their sort of heyday came a lot later. Timbaland had already been out. So my point is Timbaland was really planting them seeds. Now, one could argue and say, well, he kind of got that style a little bit from Memphis, all that. I don't know about that. But not to say that that's not completely bullshit. But what I'm trying to say is that Timbaland was on the scene, on the radio, putting out these beats, and nobody else was really doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? On that level. And we were going, what the fuck is this style of music? This style of music is fucking incredible, right? And that's what's led to today. So Missy and Timbaland, obviously, you know, they're the fucking fathers and mothers of this entire rap scene, really, right? In a good sense, you know, they brought that style. My point is, one thing I've always liked about Pierre Bourne and Metro is that, to me, they're actually very much like Timbaland. They're like two different sides of Timbaland, right? And I did a video about the best sort of producers of the decade. Speaking of producers, let me play some hot shit in the background. That's right, let's rock. I did a video about the best producers of the last decade. You can check it out. And I put Metro number 2 and Pierre Bourne number 3. And to me, one thing I think is interesting is that, again, like I said, they're both Timbaland-ish in the sense that Timbaland has this playful, bouncy side to him, and that was a lot of his stuff. But then there's a side to him every now and then where he would make these like dark, angry, cold-ish, aggressive beats and shit. And those are some of my favorite Timbaland ever did. Like the stuff on The Real World, Is That Your Bitch? Like shit like that, right? And I feel like Metro was kind of like that side of Timbaland, that dark, sort of really cool, icy, you know, swagger shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen to the instrumental that Metro did for Young Nudie, right? Burn Ya, right? That's what I'm talking about. Pierre would never really do a beat like that. That shit is dark, but it's so ill and it's beautiful and shit like that. And what I think Pierre did that I noticed pretty much right away, and I loved about Pierre, was that Pierre brought a fun into rap. Right? I mean, of course, Metro shit was fun and was brilliant. But what I'm saying is that Pierre's shit is like extra bouncy and extra playful. And that's what made him different. When everybody was trying to do Pierre, or I'm sorry, everyone was trying to do Metro, because Metro became that dude. And everyone started copying Metro, obviously. And their shit was like slow and that stuff, but not as good as Metro. Here comes Pierre with this like crazy, video gamey, off the wall, bouncy type of shit. And that's what made Pierre that nigga to me personally. And I noticed it right away. And that's what I'm saying. Those two are kind of the same, like, you know, they're both Timbaland kids. You know what I'm saying? And I love that about them. So, my favorite Pierre beats? Well, Pierre's got a lot of great shit. I mean, look, man, look at my videos. I'm one of the first cats to tell you that Pierre was that guy, right? A lot of people, you know, now, of course, like I said, internet is all about regurgitating and recycling what, you know, people like me say. But I noticed it right away, and this is why, yes, most OGs are washed, but I'm not one of them, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta listen to your OGs, because the OGs that are paying attention, they'll notice when some shit is dope right away, and they'll tell you. Case in point, myself. So, let's start off with what I think are the honorable mentions. This was a really hard list for me to do. I mean, top 5 is a really strong statement for Pierre, because to me, Pierre's got a good 20 incredible beats, I would say. I'd give him like 20, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And so to me, top 5 is a really fucking hard decision. But let me start with the honorable mentions, I guess, right? This is one of them. Poles. Bitch, man, I got them poles. I love this beat. This is a really great beat to just relax to and chill and listen to. And I really like the vibe of this whole record, right? Still bouncy, still that Pierre bounce that we love, right? I got a list here. Poles, Can Relate, Pain 1993, Gummo, They Go Off, Molly. These are all my honorables. I mean, these are all incredible beats. I love these fucking records, right? Now, let's get into the top 5, okay? And my top 5 hasn't really changed, to be honest with you. I think they've kind of always been, when I first heard them, they just did something to me. So I'll start off with number 5. Oh, by the way, honorable mention, Rip Fredo. R.I.P. Fredo and Top. Well, you know, fire. Middle of the Summer. Man, there's a lot of good shit, man, that Pierre's done. So, number 5. R.I.P. R.I.P. was tough, man. That beat. That shit. You know, the trolls were hating when I introduced that one in the My Call Me video. Trash Homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that beat is nuts. That's a top 5 Pierre beat if you ask me personally. Number 4. Lame Niggas. Yeah. I was conflicted with this one. Whether it would be Lame Niggas or Yamin. I mean, both of them I fucking love, you know. Actually, what's funny is all these 3, the third place included, they all have that lion roar sound that I fucking love. Who does that? Who puts a fucking lion roar in their beat? That's what I'm talking about. Creative niggas do creative things, you know what I'm saying, that you don't think about, but they're just dope. And they add a whole nother level of fun and aggression to this shit. So, yeah, man, I fucking love Lame Niggas, man. Lame Niggas was fire. Yamin is also fire. I mean, that's kind of an honorable mention. But again, it's interchangeable. Those beats are incredible to me. And number 3 is A Lot on My Mind. I got a lot on my mind. Whoa, and Lion Roar. Yo, that shit is crazy. I remember when that leaked. I think it came out. I can't remember when it came out, but I remember hearing it and think it was something like a Pretty Flacco type of situation where it came out like the first day of the year or something. It might have been 2019 or 2020. I don't fucking remember. But all I remember is I played the shit out of that record for a good 2-3 months straight. Like, I fucking love that beat. I love that song. I love everything about that fucking record. So A Lot on My Mind is on the list for real, for real. Number 2. I already did a video about this record. You should already know. EA. I think EA is easily one of the best Pierre beats he's ever done. Again, it's playful, like I said. You know, it's dark in the sense that it's gunshots, but that's what I'm trying to tell you about Pierre. Like, his whole style is fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like that bounce, let's get into it, let's have a good time type of thing. And that's what I love about Pierre. So even though EA is hard as nails, it's still very fun and almost video gamey. And I like that shit. So, EA. And number motherfucking 1 goes to Woke Up Like This, of course. The original. The shit that made me like check for Pierre and all that shit. When I heard Woke Up Like This, I was like, alright, I really gotta listen to this fucking Playboi Carti Pierre shit. Because I'm telling you, I've said this in a previous video, but Woke Up Like This, I heard that shit on a low volume in my brother's car. And I was like, what is this? Like, it just hit. And I think overall, if I was to select the best Playboi Carti song that he's ever made, I would say Woke Up Like This would be his number 1, personally. But that's just my opinion. I think that shit is dumb hard. The rapping is great. Everything about the song is fucking great. Uzi is great on it. The whole shit is fire. And actually, I kind of wanted to talk about this on the side note, because as dope as Pierre is and has been instrumental to Playboi Carti's career, we forget, and let's not forget that, you know, Playboi Carti has a lot of beats from people that aren't Pierre that are fucking incredible, right? And this is the you know, to me, the rule book. I've never been a fan of having one producer, no matter how ill that producer is, doing the entire record. I think that outside of maybe RZA, I think it's very hard to pull off, right? It's better when you have multiple producers, like maybe 3 or 4, right? You have a main one that you really like, and it's kind of like your Yoda, your guy. But that person can't do the entire project, because then it starts to sound the same. You need new ideas and new vibes, right? Playboi Carti is dope as fuck, right? Pierre is dope as fuck. But let's look at some of the best songs that you know, Playboi Carti has. Some of them aren't done by Pierre. Location, new chopper, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who did the beat for Pop Bottles, but that beat is fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people that have added to what makes Playboi Carti great. And that's what I'm trying to say, that ultimately, as much as one producer can give to you, like an ASAP Rocky and Clams Casino, I ultimately don't want to hear an entire project with just ASAP Rocky and Clams Casino. I don't think that that's worth it. I think what I would love to hear is them record like 20 tracks together, and then they pick the, you know, the 5 best ones, and then there's other producers. Does that make sense? You know, like, ultimately, you need the variety, but you still need the cohesion, right? Illmatic, DJ Premier did, you know, a third of the album and mixed everything together. But again, he had competing ideas from Q-Tip, Large Professor. That's what makes that album ill. You know what I mean? Then that's what makes Playboi Carti ill. That's what made ASAP ill. You still had the Beautiful Lose and Ty Beats, you know what I'm saying, who were in there. You know what I'm saying? That one beat, and I'm forgetting his name, the dude who did the Brand New Guy beat. Insane. One of the best songs Rocky ever fucking did. And you know what I'm saying? You need shit like that. You always need new ideas. So, as much as we love Pierre, it's good that Pierre's in the mix with other great producers who are doing things, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Pierre, man. I'm a fucking fan. I've always liked this shit. Drunk and Nasty that he did earlier this year, I think, was a great beat by him. I wouldn't put that necessarily in my top 20, but you know, he's still doing some stuff that I think is pretty good. So, you know, I'm looking forward to anything that Pierre drops, man, honestly. You know, he's the guy. And I said this, man. You can look back on my videos. I don't wait for people to say shit and then jump on a train. That's not how I roll. You know what I mean? So, peace. And shout out to Harrison, by the way, for, you know, requesting this. It's actually a really good idea. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should talk about Pierre. And I kind of went on a Pierre listening streak anyway. So, you know, that's that. Peace and love. Check out the video in the description. You'll see some brothers turning up to some Pierre shit, and that was a great video. It's good to see brothers turning up and listening to the music the way it's supposed to be, not these fucking white creators sitting there, you know, oh well, I really like those xylophones in this beat and all this goofy shit. Like, at the end of the day, hip hop is fun. You're supposed to dance to it. You're supposed to have energy and vibe. And if you can't feel it, the fuck you talking about rap about? You know what I'm saying? Why are you even, you know, making a video?